Namaste, everyone. Greetings. I'm sitting here meditating on the ocean, I guess, in a way. I wouldn't say I'm meditating on the ocean, but rather meditating with the ocean as a background. I'm sitting here looking at this dune grass, thinking about how it's kind of, I don't know if any of you have ever seen Kirlian photography, but it's a type of photography which shows the inherent energy of things. And you can take a picture of a plant, for example, and see the aura around the plant. And one of the most fascinating things about it is if you remove a part of a leaf and you take a picture, the residual energy from that leaf will remain in the picture. So the energy never quite goes away. So it's like plants are a temporal energy center. So while I was sitting here feeling this leaf, I was thinking about how by feeling the leaf and by understanding the plant, you start to think about the root system. And by analyzing the topsoil, seeing the plants on top, you can think about how much is going on beneath the surface. But likewise, I was thinking that perhaps these straight shooting columns are like energy displacement, like when lightning strikes the top of a tree, it has to do with the positive and negative charge differences in the air. But lightning never takes a straight path. So I was thinking it follows this invisible energy path. So perhaps these energy paths are always there, all of them, Perhaps there's little tiny negative channels or positive channels of energy or ions flowing up from these plants that somehow interact with the atmosphere, interact with the rest of the planet, or perhaps not. But I think at the very least we can see that there's a underground system of energy, grid system. And you can feel it. I remember reading an article that said something like, when you sit in the forest and look around you, you only see, I believe it's 20% of the forest. And I was kind of shocked by that number myself. 20%. Because 80% of the mass of everything is beneath our feet. You see this dune grass and the root system's just as big, but denser, thicker, heavier. It anchors it to the ground and helps it suck its nutrients. But it's not a selfish act. With no plant or animal is consumption a selfish act. It's merely a transmutation of energy into something different. Even displacing this sand in front of me, putting my shoes on. Every action is causing energy to be displaced. Even when I walk across the floor of a forest or a beach, I think about something as simple as disturbing the soil around a small worm, how that affects the existence of that worm, or how I disturb one plant, kick up one small root ball, and that allows a small weed to flourish in its place. They're little contemplations which seem useless to a lot of people, but to me are very, very important. When I was sitting there, I was clearing my mind of mental chatter. I was looking at the ocean, and I don't ask for a sign. I don't speak out loud to God or the universe or the Almighty anymore. I merely voice my intention in my mind. But I've learned to let my personal intention go. It's not about what I want, or what I want to see, or what I want to have happen. I visualize the things I want to happen, but most of all, I ask the universe what it wants to show me. It's like opening up fresh baby eyes, looking at everything around me. When I look at a tree, I marvel at the structure, at the branching patterns, dendritic patterns, all the way out to the way that the needles themselves are just so strong, girthy. I've always been fascinated by the fact that there's still no natural, there's still no warm clothing that beats natural down feathers. I mean, they've tried hollow fill and all these different polyester blends, but nature still is pretty damn good at what it does, and people I don't think, give it the credit it deserves. Marveling at something as simple as a piece of grass and the design behind that grass, or the way that one of those wishers floats its little seeds off in a cloud of hope, little umbrellas launching for new destinations. All of this is perfect. It's all perfect. So every blade of dune grass intermingles with every other, and they understand each other. So for us to think that nature is playing some sort of ignorant game, it's pretty ignorant of us. Whatever path you may take, may it be phenomenal. Namaste, everyone.